Welcome to VHS Sisters, a nostalgic movie podcast with two actual real-life sisters.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Saysha.
Get into some comfy clothes, grab your favorite beverage,
and come hang out with us as I force my little sister to watch all the movies she missed growing up.
I'm freaking ready, guys. Freaking ready.
Cursing in front of your sister and your mother today. Welcome, everybody, to VHS Sisters. I'm Saysha.
I'm Melanie.
And today is a very special day because we have another very special guest star today.
Woohoo!
Who happens to be our mother. And Mom, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mom. My name's Marie.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can give your Christian name if you want. Today is a very special day, like I said, because this month, in this month of May, we are doing all movies that are what I feel are representative of the 1980s, everybody's favorite decade. And we've already talked about Back to the Future. And today, usually we talk about a movie that Melanie has never seen. But today we had to go with a family classic and bring on more family. So today we are talking about the 1983 classic film, Valley Girl.
Family favorite.
A family favorite. And through, my prep for this pod, I realized that it is still kind of a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a sleeper movie. I've been doing research. I'm like, no one has really talked about this movie. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's on Criterion. There is a DVD Blu-ray, which I don't have. I just have the regular DVD, but we watched it on streaming, whatever. It's also free on YouTube. Anybody who cares. So yes, it's a family favorite. And usually on the show, we start with Melanie's memories. We talk about if Melanie has any memories of the movie. Usually she doesn't. But I think we should start with your memories of this movie, Mom. So, you can tell us when do you remember seeing this movie for the first time?
I would say when it came out in 83, I don't recall going to the movies for it, but I definitely watched it when it was on HBO or whatever movie channel we had at the time, which was about it. It was we got 50 channels. That's it, if that.
So let me set the stage for you. So it's 1983. This movie would have come out in April of 1983. So I would have been
2.5.
2.5, right.
2 3/4. What gives?
2 3/4.
So how do you remember 1983? How did that feel to you? I'm curious.
Yeah, everybody went to the mall, lived for the mall.
Okay.
I took you to the mall as much as I could, even when we went on a mini trip around that time to Boca Raton to visit my Aunt Shirley, which is Grandma Carol's sister.
Sure.
I was changing my life around, packed you up, took me on a road trip down to Boca Raton and with my Aunt Jerry and her best friend Joni. And we stayed there for probably 2 weeks.
Wow. So Mom was a freshly single teen mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was not a teen. I was 22.
You were 19 when you had Saysha.
I was 1 month shy of being 20.
So I still call you a teen mom.
Yes, I was a teen mom, whatever.
So anyway, you remember in 1983, the mall. So the depiction of the mall in the opening scenes, that was real. You went to the Galleria. Yes. Or our version of the Galleria, which would have probably been Lakeside Mall in Michigan.
Yes, because Lakeside was built the year I graduated in 78. So that was a go-to for all the kids back
Teens.
then, moms, whatever. Yeah, because we didn't have what you have in your hand or nothing. We socialized in public. We didn't have phones to carry.
Not a cell phone in sight.
No internet.
we were in suburbia, so everyone had to drive everywhere.
Everybody drove everywhere.
You weren't walking to, you could probably walk to the park from here. where we're at now. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Back when you lived in that apartment, not too far away.
Yeah.
But
took Saysha there all the time.
A lot of third space action happening in the 80s.
So your memory of this movie, like it probably would have been not your first depiction, but it would have been like a snapshot of what California was like at the time.
Yes.
Was that very different than like your reality?
Yes. Oh, definitely. There was nobody eating sushi on this side of the country.
Some gross
teenagers that they were ahead of us in so many ways. Food, fashion, music, because they had their own punk scene out there, beach rock, whatever.
Would you say like watching this movie at the time, did California or like that kind of music, like the LA punk scene, Hollywood, did that all seem very interesting to you?
Oh, definitely. Wanted to get out there and live it.
Oh.
It was like, well, where's my Nicolas Cage on the beach?
You know what? I asked myself the same thing.
Wow.
And he doesn't want to be credited for this movie. I thought he did awesome.
Yeah, he did.
We can get into Nicolas Cage's mental health problems later. Right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the movie. Melanie, let's shift to you. What are your memories of this movie?
I want to say we had a VHS of it at some point.
We did, if I still have it.
I mean, I think maybe the earliest I've watched it, maybe semi-inappropriately, might have been like 7, 8 years old. And like my first real memory, I remember we had my one friend over, Jennifer, and we were like, oh, let's like we're having girls' night, So we put on Valley Girl, and it was like our first time as like teens watching it. And we were like, ooh, so cool, so fun. I mean, like a lot of the stuff, like watching it again as an adult. And it's funny because Mom and I actually had just watched it last summer, or maybe the summer before. Like I was setting up the apps on their new smart TV.
Sure.
And I was just scrolling through and I'm like, oh, look, Valley Girl, boom, just put it on. Mm-hmm. But like watching it now as an adult, like there's a lot of things you're like, oh, yeah, this is what's happening in this scene. Yeah. Okay. Like that's
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of movies of that era, you watch it and you're like, you couldn't make this movie nowadays. It's very of the time. This movie was extremely low budget. It was like made for like $300,000, which is like nothing for a movie. It was like, what do we say for Beastmaster? $4 million.
Yeah. And most of that was just for the animals.
But yeah, that was like for like 1 million was just for those tigers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think my first memory of this movie is the soundtrack first.
For me, I would say that too.
Because I wore out that CD. I was obsessed that it was the music that brought me into
where my CD went.
I don't have it, so it's got to be somewhere around your house, probably. But yeah, I was obsessed with the soundtrack and then became obsessed with the movie. And upon this last rewatch, we just watched it last night. I think for the first half hour, I was mimicking the movie. Like I was saying the lines as they were being said, because this is one of those movies that I know.
Oh, yeah.
By heart. Like I could, and it's a very like quotable movie too. Mm-hmm. It is sort of like a movie that like, obviously it's beloved by us, but I guess I understand why it's a sleeper movie, because most of the movie is just people hanging out and chatting. Like that's it. There's like nothing, like the plot is pretty thin.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. Instead of Romeo, we have Randy. Mm-hmm. Instead of Juliet, we have Julie. And it's a pretty, I don't know, I'll say like it's a pretty fluffy 80s teen romance, but there's also like a depth to it. Like I was watching it like this most recent time and I was like, wow, they're really like doing it acting wise. They're really giving like, especially Nick Cage and Deborah Foreman. I think they're both really perfect in these parts. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, this came out in 1983, starring, as you said, Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman. How did you feel about those two in the lead roles, Mom?
They did excellent. I thought, they were up and coming actors and never seen them before on film. So they fit the part. She's a few years older than him. So.
Oh, really?
He was born 64 and she's 62. So no big deal.
It's a fun fact about my mom. She knows the year where everybody was born.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. Not a big deal.
So he would have been, Nicolas Cage would have been 18 or 19 then in 83.
Yeah, he was born in 64. He's a Capricorn. He's January.
Yeah, that's Melanie's kryptonite.
Yeah, I love a Capricorn.
Anyways, he's like Uncle Mike's age.
She's doing the math. She's growing right now.
Well, if I was 22, 23.
Yeah, he would have been 19.
He's 4 years younger. Yeah, he would have been
old.
18, 19.
So fun fact I found out while doing research before we get into summarizing the movie. And then we'll talk about all of our favorite. Okay, go ahead.
All movies are made a year in advance. So he's definitely probably 17 or 18.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Great point. Great point.
Released.
Another fun fact about Nicolas Cage is that he is a method actor. So he wants to stay in character the whole time, even in between takes. So he insisted that everybody call him Randy for the whole length. I'm serious. That is actual movie trivia that I found out from the cinematographer talking. And this movie was originally conceived as a teen exploitation film to capitalize on the idea of the Valley Girl, which at that time was pretty new. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people kids, the kids who are listening to this, you have to understand that everyone as a nation was fascinated with these young, mostly white, affluent girls from the San Fernando Valley who spoke in a very particular way. And the reason that it kind of came into the zeitgeist was because of actually, you might know this, Mom, who wrote a song about Valley Girl. Do you remember?
Oh, Frank Zappa.
Exactly.
And his daughter.
Gold Star. Exactly. Yeah. So Frank and
Moon Zappa.
Moon Unit
Zappa. She has a pretty iconic performance as the Valley Girl, speaking through the song. And it's funny because I feel like in the movie, they kind of get the dialect right, but not really. It's more kind of like the surfer girl, specifically E.G. Daily or Elizabeth Daily, who plays Lauren, the slutty friend.
Yep.
She has sort of a laid back kind of surfer vibe, but I'm you know what? You get a pass. It's fine. You're all doing the best you can. And the premise, like I said, it's a basic Romeo and Juliet story. Melanie, why don't you describe the beginning of the movie? Because you usually do.
So the beginning of the movie is a montage, mall montage, swiping those credit cards, old style, going through all the bangles. The girls are shopping at the mall. They're kind of establishing who's who. And, Julie's boyfriend, Tommy, at the time, who she thinks is a total pucoid.
A pucoid.
She's he's got the bod, but his brains are bad news.
Yeah.
and I was like, girl, I get it. Yeah.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Yeah. We have the core group of Valley Girls. So it's Julie, her friend Susie, her friend Stacy, and Lauren. Mm-hmm. And they're all racking up those credit cards. First note that I wrote was do you remember, Melanie, do you remember swipey credit cards?
No, I don't.
Wow. Okay. That's the generation gap. I sure do. I remember having to work with them.
Oh, God. A nightmare for me.
Yeah. You had to make a carbon copy.
One for the retailer, one for the customer.
It was a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're running around the mall and we get a sense that everything's going pretty good, except Julia's with this guy named Tommy who sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. He sucks.
Narcissist.
He, like you were saying,
dweeb.
He's been in a few movies and he always plays the same character.
Yeah, he's the nasty guy in every movie he plays.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. The actor's name is Michael Bowen, and he went on to be a pretty big character in Lost and Breaking Bad and tons of stuff. Yeah, he always plays a jerk, and that's just sort of his
typecast.
He got on the pussy wagon in Kill Bill.
Oh, right. Yeah,
he slammed his head in the door.
That's right. We'll have to do the Kill Bill episode later. So yeah, Michael Bowen as Tommy. And I think he does a great job just like coming on screen and like you just know he's a jerk.
I don't know if he was in Karate Kid or not, but he might have been in that.
You mean he like the bully guy?
Yeah, on that group that always fought against what's his name?
I don't know. I've never seen Karate Kid.
My God. Melanie. I know. Every single time we talk about another movie, she's like, oh, I haven't seen this thing that literally everybody has seen.
Yeah, wax on, wax off.
I know that.
I don't think he was. I think that was another mean looking blonde kid. Yeah,
I know who it is in the face, but I thought maybe he was in.
Well, he does bust out moves later that makes you think that way.
That's very true. He does some karate moves later. So Julie breaks up with Tommy at the mall.
Yeah. Yep. Like, I'm not totally in love with you anymore or whatever. Just like.
I haven't heard from you in 2 to 3 days.
I haven't heard from you in 2 to 3 days. We're over
it.
I mean, if like I didn't hear from a guy in 2 to 3 days and we were dating, I would be like, yeah, what's up with that? That seems a little long. And again, an era before cell phones, but like,
yes,
you knew everybody was home in the evening after school. You could give them a call, right? That's how it worked, right? You had your call time when you would chat with people. So anyway, yeah. So now Julie she's single and she's ready to mingle. And the girls are at the beach. They're talking about this party that Susie's going to have. Everyone's got like these great 80s suits on. And and who does Julie lock eyes with at the beach?
She locks eyes with Randy.
Yeah.
His friend is named Bailey, correct?
It's Fred Bailey,
Fred Bailey. Okay, so because like he calls him Bailey at some points, and then he's also called Fred. So I'm like, what's the name?
Fred Bailey.
Yeah. It's like you call that's like a thing. You call your friend by their last name.
So he overhears the girls talking about the party.
In line
at the
concession stand.
And so he gets the news, he tells Randy, and they kind of like walk over to where they're at in that area. And he goes, hey, these are the girls or whatever. And then that's when they start locking eyes. And I was like, oh, yeah. So they're in love already.
I'll ask both of you since we're already in it. Okay. Who would you rather, Randy or Fred?
Randy.
She can't resist that Capricorn man. How about you?
Choose, Mom.
I like them both. They had their own. I mean, I like both their characters.
Yes,
in a way because
Mom goes, I want both.
Yeah, Fred had it.
He had more sense about him at times.
Yeah, he had like real,
Speak your truth, Mom. Speak your truth.
I don't know. He had more character. He had his colored hair and he always tried to reason with everybody and not be so pushy.
He was a social butterfly too, like in a way. Like he was more extroverted, where I would say Randy's a little more introverted.
Yes.
That's true. Mom's out here like, why choose?
Yeah, why choose? Have them both.
Have both. Go to
two boyfriends
go
at
to
the punk
city
club.
And go to the club.
In an alternate reality, Mom lives in California and she dates two guys.
No.
Oh, why not?
Why not?
Hey, it's an alternate reality, so it can be whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you had to choose an alternate reality, would you go to LA or London?
Oh, shit. You got me there.
Well, wait, have you ever been to LA or London?
No.
I've just been to London, not LA, though.
And I've just been to LA.
There we go. Which daughter are you choosing?
Yeah, which one? Rank us right now.
Sophie's choice. I know.
I feel like a trip to LA or London would be in order for you.
Yeah, it's got its place
pretty soon.
History. And yeah, we got to go. I'm ready.
Yeah, if you guys flew out to LA, I would fly out to meet you for sure. We could do the Valley Girl tour.
Ooh, for sure. Wow. Like totally.
Go to the Whiskey a Go-Go.
That'd be bitchin'.
Totally rad.
Yeah, it's perpendicular, dude.
I just have a note here that says Nick Cage's chest hair.
It's insane.
That's that Coppola
that was
style.
a patch.
It looks like the triangle, like on the front of a car. Yeah. It's just very weird and like way too high. I'm like, did you shave that? What's going on?
I don't get it.
Mom's like, well, this is a later scene
with Skip,
but she's like, who has this much body hair in high school?
In high school, who has a chest hair like that guy Skip, who sees Susie on the side, you know, when she
no. I know Skip, and I was going to say Skip is fully 35 years old.
Oh, yeah. He's got leg hair. He's got chest hair. He's got a whole body. Nobody has it at 18. No way.
Skip had early puberty, I guess. That's why he's so horny. He's like ready to go and have kids with whoever, apparently. Anyway, we'll get to that subplot in a second. So anyway, the two punk guys, Randy and Fred, decide to crash this party in the valley. So we immediately like transition to like one of these ranch houses in the valley. I'm obsessed with this kind of architecture. Just sort of like all of these suburban houses. It kind of reminds me of like the house that's in Poltergeist. They're having a valley party. They're playing new wave music. Everyone's dressed in pastels. I want to sidebar really quick. What were you feeling about all the fashion, Melanie?
This is a fashion movie. I'm not going to lie. Like there's so much happening. It feels so authentic because it is authentic. Like this is not an 80s movie that's made, you know, it's not like Stranger Things, you know, where it's pretending to be the 80s. Not that they didn't do they did a good job, I felt, but like it just feels more true to have everything as it was in the mall filming, and it just looked so great on screen. So like all of the fashion I really loved, especially like the girls just like in their rooms, you know, like so like Julie had a tank top. It's like a red tank top with the white trim that I really love. And I love, it's Lauren, right? The other friend,
the slutty friend,
Lauren. Yeah. She was wearing like a tiger print, like matching,
baby doll
like a tank top matching like bikini briefs or whatever. And I was like, oh, I want that right now.
Oh yeah, her swimsuit. Yeah, the swimsuit.
Well, no, it's not a swimsuit. It's just in the house. Like when the girls have a sleepover later.
Oh, later.
It's not like a big fashion moment, but like I look at it and
camisole.
I look at it and I go, I want that.
Yeah.
Mom, were there any fashion moments that you loved? Like any outfits that stood out to you?
Well, I liked what Randy.
Oh yeah, that too. The punk.
I liked their outfits over the uptight suburbanite polo shirt wearing whatever you call that fashion.
You weren't into the valley preppy style, is what you're saying?
No, not a prepper. No, I like the rock and roll look. You know, it just depends. There were some outfits that were okay, but I didn't like all that frilly, puffy,
like
lacy,
Julie's outfit that she wears to the party.
Yeah, that lacy top.
Yeah, it's such an elaborate, like almost like Renaissance fair style blouse that Stacy has to help her button the sleeve.
Yes.
And I was like, was there some sort of, Mom would probably remember this more. Was there like a medieval revival in the early 80s, or was that sort of an odd thing to wear?
I don't recall.
I have a note.
What?
Yes. It reminds me a lot of like the stylings of the Culture Club.
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
And they had a lot of that, like romantic style look.
Yeah. Billowy tops and.
Yeah, I was thinking too that because Julie has hippie parents, maybe it was a hand-me-down from her mother, and that would have been a choice. Yeah, what did you feel about Julie's parents?
Fucking love them.
Do you remember people like that, Mom? Like the sort of like 60s, 70s, like leftover. There were not people like that who owned a health food store in Michigan, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Health food was not in over here. Not over here. It started a little bit like in vitamin shops and stuff, probably like before Better Health. There were a few mom and pop health food stores you could go to.
Shout out Better Health.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, we'll tag you on the pod.
Health. Yeah. But not like in LA where, I don't know, maybe they started going all health kick way before we did, you know.
Right.
80s, probably the 70s too, because that was all granola generation.
So you wouldn't have been able to go to a restaurant and get like a side of alfalfa sprouts like they do in the movie.
No. Not
Gotcha.
in Michigan.
Yeah. Dry.
I remember thinking at the time when I watched this as a kid and I was just like, what a cool thing for your parents to own a health food store.
I know.
Like Randy says.
Yeah, he does. He was like, no, that is cool. You know, during their, she seems very embarrassed by the fact. But yeah, we haven't even gotten to the part where Julie and Randy meet, but they do meet. Right. They lock eyes at the party to the dulcet tunes of Eyes of a Stranger by the Payolas, I think. I don't know, Melanie, were you feeling the romance again?
Yes. This, you know what? This movie made me believe in romance again.
Did it? After Love Month destroyed you.
Love Month truly destroyed me, but now seeing this, I said, you know what? There's a trickle of hope in my heart.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's just the way they play it too. And I love like there's one thing that was so affirming to watch too is like, I'm just going to say it now. The lack of Botox in this movie.
Well, yeah, nobody had Botox back then.
But it's like I'm saying like plastic surgery in general, not like Valley Girls didn't get nose jobs or whatever back in the day. I'm sure they did.
Oh, yeah.
But I was thinking like watching them lock eyes with each other. And I was like, here's another example of two people with fucked up teeth who are looking real cute with each other. And I love that. Like Deborah Foreman has this little gummy smile and she's like, you know, she's so cute and she's clearly like so in love with Randy. And Randy's just got that like, I don't even know how to describe him. He has sort of like a shaggy dog kind of look.
Yeah, like puppy dog eyes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's got those Coppola eyes, baby. Mm-hmm. So they're hitting it off, but Tommy sees them flirting at a party. He hates that. Tommy punches Randy. Randy calls Tommy a slur that I cannot repeat on the pod. I haven't said it yet, and I'm certainly not going to say it for the first time in front of my mother. Randy decides he's got to hook back up with Julie any way he can. What is his great plan to hook up with her before the night ends? Can anyone remember?
He crawls into
sneaks in the bathroom.
Yes, he crawls in the bathroom window and he waits in the
shower stall.
Yes, he hides in the shower and he is like just waiting and waiting and waiting. He's like, of course she's going to have to use the bathroom at some point. And my thought was, I'm like, I'm sure there's more than one bathroom.
Right. There's more that. Yeah. So poor plan. Also, how many people were just taking a shit?
Yeah. And there's people getting some action in there, people hitting the ganj, you know, and then she shows up and he just walks out all creepy on her. I'm surprised she didn't scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is a little, I'll say this, like he is very cute in it, but definitely some of his behavior in the movie is a little stalkerish.
Yeah, a little toxic.
It's a little toxic. And like between that, like I remember as a teen being like, oh my God, he's so romantic. I'm totally into it. But between like the stalker behavior and then also like, I don't know, things that he does later, like to show his temper. Also, like he negs her a lot in the beginning. And I'm just like, this is the main difference between watching this as like a 14-year-old and a woman in her 40s. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not cute anymore. Right. We don't play these games. So what happens, Mom? Like after Randy lures her out of the bathroom and convinces her to come to his neighborhood, what is the scene that transpires next? Do you remember?
Well, she convinces her best friend Stacy to come along.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
I don't want to go with these guys. Where are we going? Oh, no. Like just totally not into it.
Can we all agree that Stacy is the worst?
She's the worst.
Stacy sucks as a friend.
She pulls the rug out from her when they were in the car doing driver's ed.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later.
We'll get up to that. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she didn't want to, go along for the ride. She was like, what? But who does that anyways? But they went to go explore downtown, which I'm like, do they ever go on this side of town?
Well, if you've never been to LA, so there's the San Fernando Valley, which would be like the suburbs, and you have to like go through the mountains. So the area that they're driving in their car is actually Hollywood,
higher.
Well, they have to, they go up. So it's like, well, it's weird because like West Hollywood is like you're driving towards the ocean. So it's like you have to like go over the mountains and then like down into West Hollywood. And that whole strip is like, you see all these iconic LA places. Like that whole scene I love so much because I'm just I just want to go to the Rainbow. We have the Roxy, all the old neon, the movie theaters. And I was just like, I'm a New York gal. But like when I watch that, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And it's so showbiz, you know?
Yeah. I was going to say, call back to one of our movies from last season, Rocky Horror. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is in the marquee.
Wizard of Oz.
And Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, because Rocky Horror was on every single week, like since they put it out. So it would have been like 7 or 8 years, like after Rocky Horror had come out. But yeah, I love the whole scene has such an improv quality to it. Like they literally just let Nick Cage drive and just is like shouting things at people. Just sort of like in a way that like teen guys do or people do in general when they're trying to look cool. They end up at this club. And what's going on at the club?
The Plimsolls?
Plimsolls. Yeah, the Plimsolls are playing. They apparently are like the house band because they're always on.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah, they're in it. They go to a club. There's a lot of punks. They're seeing people with like leather jackets and spiky hair. And it's like very different. I love all the colors in this movie. And I think they do a really good job showing the color contrast. Like when they're in the valley, everything's like pink, baby blue, creamy. Yeah, very, you go ahead. Pastels. And in Hollywood, like what's the color grading there? It's like
red, it's dark tone, it's like midnight blue, like these soft lights coming in from the back. Like it's just everything's a little bit backlit because they're in the club and it just looks so intimate.
I think it's a great scene. And I think it's very realistic in the sense I'm like, oh yeah, this is what it's like. You're in a bar. It's super loud. You're trying to have an intimate conversation. Go ahead.
I like to know how they're getting into a bar if they're in high school. Because I know when I was 18, I was only legal for a few months and then they upped it to 21.
That's a great question. And I'm glad you asked it. And I think it was just because Randy was cool.
And the owner knew him. And let them in to enjoy the band.
Bouncer,
but they look like they all had Cokes on their table, regular pop or something.
Yeah, you know what? I will say this, though. There is such a thing as like all ages clubs. And like if you have a stamp, they would have X'd your hands if you were underage. So it might have been a situation like that. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of a Dead Milkmen song called Bitchin' Camaro. And there's a line in it where they're like, we're going to this place called the Sandbar. It's where they let 16-year-old kids drink. Yikes. So that's the first thing that popped in my mind. It seems like it's cool for them to be there. They don't seem to be drinking alcohol. But yeah, no, Randy's like telling Julie about like how she's just the same as her friend.
Yeah.
And they're different. One of my favorite lines in this movie, the techno rock you guys listen to is gutless.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any like other choice quotes that you can think of, Mom?
Yeah. When can I see you again?
Yes.
When the music dies.
Yes.
He screams it out.
When can I see you again?
It's so good. I think he acts that part very well. It's great because she's like, her response to that is like, why couldn't you have waited to the end of the evening to ask me that? And he's like, I just do what I feel. And then it's like, you see them from behind and you can't hear what they're saying, but then they kiss. So I love that in the movie. It's like, there's all these little artsy choices. This movie was directed by a woman, by the way, Martha Coolidge, icon woman director who's directed a lot of other like cute movies that I love from the 90s too. She does a lot of like artsy stuff, but also like romantic comedy stuff. But I love that choice of like the moment before they kiss, we don't hear what they say. So it's like just between them, and it'll always be between them. And it's like really beautiful. And I'm like, this is such a, I don't want to say a cheap movie, but like such a low budget movie. And they just make these little choices that I love.
Another quote was like when Stacy didn't want to get out of the car, she's like, I just want to stay in here. I'm not getting out of here. And Fred's like, well, when they attack the car, save the radio.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no. Fred has so many good lines. They make him sort of, like you said, he's the social one. He's the comic relief. Whereas like Randy's a little bit more concerned with being cool.
Yeah.
So Randy and Julie, they're hooking up. They're in the car. Fred's trying to get with Stacy. She's very reluctant, but she also seems to like it. They have a little smooch.
Mm-hmm. Randy, or not Randy, if it's Fred.
Yeah, she's like, Fred. And then, Mom, what does he say?
Stacy. I think you're cute.
Yeah, no, I think it's nice that they kind of like hook up a little bit.
A little bit.
Randy and Julie are going out, and like you said before, Mom, Stacy kind of like spills the beans to the rest of the friends. And how do Julie's friends feel about this guy who dresses differently than them?
Oh yeah, they think he's a dweeb, somebody they wouldn't ever look at.
I don't know if they think he's a dweeb. They are not
like an outsider.
There you go.
And they want somebody that's in their circle only.
Right. They're being very exclusionary.
Yes.
There's definitely a lot of class commentary here. We're not going to get into it on the family pod, but yeah, there's definitely there's a big difference between the white affluent Valley people and the lower income West Hollywood crowd. I will say too, just quick sidebar, we never see Randy's house or if he has parents.
Right. I always thought that too.
Right. Well, does he live on the street?
Don't know.
Where does he live in bathrooms? Like,
maybe he lives with Fred because Fred's like driving his mom's car around, right?
Yeah, it was his car, his mom's car.
Maybe. I was like, he seems to know the people at the club really well. Does he just sleep in that bathroom or in the alley? Like, where is his home? That's what you see, him later, like camping out in a lot of places. I'm like, maybe he has nowhere to go.
Right.
Maybe.
And in that case, I'm like, maybe I do understand what her friends are getting at. You don't want to date somebody who has no home. It's not a stable situation. It's nothing against him, but And so in the midst of all this, we get a very, or maybe not very exciting subplot. Does anyone want to describe that?
I forgot about this boring ass subplot where Skip is looking to bone like the mom or like is she the stepmom? Is that girl like orphaned? Because I was kind of like not 100%.
I was trying to figure that out too.
So I've watched this movie maybe 100 times. I just realized I was like, okay, so Susie, who had the party, it's her stepmom and her current boyfriend at the party. The stepmom's name is Beth, and she has a line. She's like, oh, Susie's been really competitive with me since her father died. So I'm like, where's the birth mother in this? Is she also dead? And like, so the stepmom has the house after the father's passed. And Susie has a little sister too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whose name is Peggy, I think, the one who interrupts the sleepover later.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, so you have two girls living with the stepmom who's dating somebody else. I'm like, their whole home life is fucked up. It's not great.
Yeah. So is her mom dead also, or is she divorced and gave him the custody?
Yeah, that's what I want to believe. I think that there's like a sequel where Susie goes to live with her mom and takes the sister with her.
Yeah, maybe like in Arizona or something. Maybe her mom was in like Joshua Tree.
Yeah, maybe she just wanted to go out in the desert and eat peyote or something.
I thought her sister's name was Spaz.
Yeah, no, she just calls her Spaz, which you can't say anymore.
Oh, fudge.
But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so that we get the Susie's Skip subplot. And like you said,
the mom wants to get with the stepmom, but he also like kind of like Susie, and the stepmom takes a liking to him. And she's just kind of like, she's feeling herself. Like her husband's dead. She's got a boyfriend. She's like, let me just open this up a little bit and see what I can get. And so she goes for the high schooler and he bites, you know? So I thought it was going to be, what is it? Is it Mrs. Robinson? What is that called?
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Robinson. It was going to be a Mrs. Robinson situation, like the whole movie or something. But I feel like a lot of the subplot was cut due to editing. And I feel like the whole thing should have been cut, in my opinion.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Didn't really like, because it panned out. So there was no like crescendo moment. There was like no like gotcha moment. It just kind of faded out.
There's supposed to be a misdirect at the end, because at the end you think like when Skip goes over to deliver groceries to the house, like he does it once, he runs into Beth, he's like, it's not a mistake that I'm here. So I'm like, okay, he is biting, he is going for this MILF. And
then he walks in when the person's in the shower.
And you're supposed to think that that's the mom, but it's actually Susie. So I think he went into the bathroom totally expecting to bone the mom.
He was like, why choose?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not like, because if you rewatch the movie, you're not like, oh, he was secretly in love with Susie the whole time and we were, but it's like, no, he was into the mom. He just decided he found Susie in the shower and he's like, well, here I am.
Guess she'll do. Yeah.
So the payoff is not great. I feel like because it's a pretty short movie, I think it just is like barely 90 minutes.
It's 90 and change.
It's 90 and change. Yeah. They had to pad it out a little bit. So yeah, anyway, enough about Skip and Beth.
Yeah, that's the last time we'll mention them.
Yeah. And his disgusting hairy body.
Ew, yeah, his fully 35-year-old body.
So you weren't feeling Skip, Mom.
He just didn't look like he fit the part.
Yeah, you were in
many ways. He didn't look like a fellow student. Second of all, to have him or her think that he was into her and he was wishy-washy, trying to get whatever he could get.
Yeah, he was desperate, honestly.
He was desperate. Remember him on the phone.
I do think that Skip had a cool bedroom. I will say that. The interiors of all the kids' bedrooms, like Julie's, Susie's, like all the interiors were so good.
Nobody wallpapers anymore, and it shows.
It was insanely wallpapered to death.
I loved it. Yeah, I was like, people really were not minimalist. Like you walk into houses now, it's beige, it's not decorated. But back then I was like looking in the bathroom at Susie's house. I'm like, remember like having little terracotta frogs on the sink? You know, like people just had little like there was just like tchotchkes on the sink. Like people just had stuff. Mom's making faces. She doesn't.
No,
she's not. Tchotchke. Wait, you're not nostalgic about 80s tchotchkes.
No,
you want a nice.
Some stuff is fun.
I love a tchotchke.
Just depends what it is.
Do you like how everything in the modern era is more minimalist now, as opposed to maximalist?
Minimalist is better.
Oh,
okay. A little bit on the halfway side.
Hot take on the pod. Mom's a minimalist.
I would like to be more, but there are certain things like if you have it in the right place and the right theme, it can look okay.
So with all the interiors in Valley Girl, were you loving it, or do you look back on it and you're like, that was not such a great choice?
And what, the decor?
Yeah, the decor. Yeah, like
it fit the era for sure. That wood paneling and all carpeted and stair, you know.
But I'm saying you're not a fan of it.
No.
Okay.
I do not like.
That's all I had to.
No, I don't like that creepy doll that.
Oh my God, the clown doll. The fucking clown doll that she hugs.
That Julie sleeps with every night. What the hell's wrong? Was she got something hidden in there?
I don't know, but every time I see it, I just laugh because I feel like they must have found that in a prop shop and they're like, here, let's give Julie something to hold as she snuggles in her bed at night thinking of Randy.
Yeah.
A clown. That's hilarious.
Clown. I don't like that.
Yeah, that clown. It reminded me a little, not to to reference Poltergeist again, it reminded me of the clown doll from Poltergeist.
Well, not just that, but it's got a porcelain face. So like if you roll over and drop it on the floor, it's going to bust its face open. That's like even worse.
That was definitely a choice. Shout out clown doll, creepy clown doll from
oh God,
Valley Girl. Yeah, there's trouble in paradise because Julie and Randy are like officially dating. We get another incredible montage.
Love the love montage. Yes.
Did you love it?
Yes. It makes me want to have a cool boyfriend.
They're going all over the city. They're going to movies. They're kissing in front of these movie marquees. They're going to the beach. They're going to the mall. What song is the montage to? Do you remember, Mom?
Mm-mm. Yes, you do.
It's like the most iconic song from It's Okay If You Don't Remember.
It's Melt With You.
Yeah. I'll melt with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, there are a ton of songs on this. But yeah, this one is famously I Melt With You by Modern English. And they were kind of like a one-hit wonder. The original soundtrack has I think 30 songs on it. Mm-hmm. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Well, there's
a lot of hits.
There's a YouTube playlist that people put other songs on that are not in the movie. And we just need to get an actual picture of the CD and see what it says on it. I'm sure there's a Valley Girl cassette tape out there.
I don't know if it came out originally on cassette, but yeah, I definitely remember the CD from Rhino Records. I had that and played the shit out of it. Yeah, so after the love montage, we realize that Julie's friends obviously very upset at her and are giving her a hard time because Julie doesn't have time for them anymore. They want to do Valley Girl stuff. She's out here hanging out in West Hollywood with her punk boyfriend, and everybody's really mad at it. And you see the tension kind of come to a head at this sleepover that we referenced before with the little sister, and all the girls are dancing around in lingerie. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're lip syncing to Girls Like Me by Bonnie Hayes. I feel like it really captures what it feels like to hang out with a bunch of girls, specifically girls in the 80s too. They talk about having bulimia, which was highly disturbing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what do they say to Julie to make her feel uncomfortable? What is the big conflict here?
That she can't be part of the
class president or something or whatever, or
class rep.
Class rep.
Yeah. She wants nothing to do with it.
She's like, who fucking cares? I'm over it.
Yeah, Julie's out here on the floor. She's drawing new wave lines on her face. She's trying to experiment. Yeah, she's doing a little experimental makeup, and everybody else is just still concerned with their school drama. But
they're concerned with peaking in high school.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But I think that the pressure becomes too much for Julie. This is the part of the movie where I always got really annoyed because there's a scene right after this where Julie is asking her dad, well, I love Randy, or I really like Randy, but should I go with Tommy? I'm like, the choice here is clear. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? How she was being so indecisive in this?
I thought, how could she really consider Tommy after having this whole whirlwind romance with Randy? It just doesn't make sense. But I really want to touch upon the fact that her parents are so kind and understanding in everything that she does. They're probably the most supportive parents you'll get in media ever. And it's the dad's just well, it's your choice. So when let me know, and I'll be right there with you. So it's just so nice to see that on screen. And I also love, this is cutting back, but when she had first stayed out with Randy all night long and comes home and her parents are waiting up for her at 7 a.m. and the mom's fully spread eagle doing yoga in the living room. And she's
love it. Yeah.
Why don't you guys punish me like my friends' parents do? And they're like, well, it's bad karma, dear. We can't do that.
Yeah. Julie's parents are played by Colleen Camp and Frederick Forrest. Colleen Camp is still alive, by the way. Yes. But the guy who played the dad, Frederick Forrest, has passed. Yes. He was in tons of movies. They both have, but like he was like in Apocalypse Now and like tons of other stuff. Like great actor. He kind of reminds me of the actor who plays Uncle Rico.
Yes. Thank you.
But he's not.
His twin.
Yeah, kind of. And he just has like that, you know, how do I want to say, like a Sonny Bono kind of look. And yeah, I also love their energy. I'm like, yeah, this is like the ultimate parental energy. They're just sort of they're not like deciding for her. They're letting her like have her own journey.
And they're still very much in love too. Like the dad's just like, oh, you know, she looks a lot like you and you're so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And then like in my head, I go, you know what? More dads need to do psychedelic drugs. Like, I think that's going to solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, he gets kind of stoned and paranoid at one point. But like, other than that, like he's just, you know, they're all pretty chill. So yeah, they let Julie, she chooses to go back with Tommy for like no reason, I think.
Yeah, literally.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. Peer pressure, like other than the fact, do you think it was because of her friend's mom? Put yourself in Julie's shoes, like in high school. Do you feel like your friend group would have made you like choose a guy or not choose a guy? Did they have that much influence on you or you didn't care so much?
I don't recall.
I don't recall. Not at all. Like you didn't have a core clique group that you just kind of went all around the different cliques and had different friends everywhere. That's kind of like me.
Wait, you didn't have like a friend group in high school?
A small friend group.
Okay. Name them.
Yeah, name and rank them. Name and rank them.
Rank them.
Chris Winkler. Yeah.
My
artsy friend.
Okay. We have artsy friend.
And then Bill Thomas, who was a grade below me. But
that's a boy name, and boys aren't allowed in a girl.
He's gay.
He's gay. So he was my Joey.
Oh, okay.
And then, I don't know, everybody I played on the volleyball team. So there's the few girls I remember.
Did you feel like they could have put pressure on you to make a decision? Marie, totally go out with him.
No. They didn't.
That guy's a loser.
So you wouldn't have had the problem that Julie had because you just did what you wanted.
Yeah.
And look where that got you.
Yeah, look at it. You heard it here first. So Julie, you know, goes back with Tommy without telling Randy. Her and Randy have this very bad breakup fight, which is very upsetting, where he's like, what does he say to her?
Like, fuck off for sure. Like, totally.
Yeah, he gave her the full Valley Girl montage.
He lets her have it. It's pretty upsetting. And then he goes full spiral. Then you do see him drinking back at the club. Again, he just loves to hang out in bathrooms, this guy. He's in the bathroom. He's making out with his ex.
Doing more than that, I think.
Yeah, I think he bangs his ex like in revenge. But is this movie PG? No.
That's a great question.
No,
they think so.
They cuss in it. Yeah,
I don't have my phone.
Well, they definitely cuss in this movie. Like, I think if you say the F word,
and there are boobs in it, guys.
Oh, right. Oh my God. Yeah,
we get to see Pee Wee Herman's girlfriend's boobs.
You get to see a lot of boobs. You get to see like random boobs in the bathroom, and I think that, you know, Martha Coolidge definitely like did a great job like directing this, but I know that there was studio influence because, again, like teen sex comedies and sex movies were all the thing. And they're like, Harvey Weinstein was like, hey, we gotta see 4 titties in here at least
maybe 5.
or you're not gonna get your money. Martha, you gotta put the titties in. Sorry, that's my ongoing bit on the podcast. I do occasionally morph into Harvey Weinstein. So it's one of my skills. Randy spirals pretty quick. It's over pretty quick because he has his good friend Fred to pull him out of it.
Yes.
Right.
And is Fred hanging out with the crew in the car that rolls up and like harasses him? Like he's moved on.
Yeah. He's like he's like near these cholo guys. I don't know if he like rolls out of the car. I don't know. Like he's just there. He's there to support his friend Randy, who's really having a hard time. And he's like, no, you got to like make a big romantic gesture and just go for it. So we get another montage, which is one of my favorite montages.
Yes.
Do you remember what happens next? What does Randy do to try to win Julie back? Can you describe this montage?
Yes. He has to He goes on the radio.
Yes.
And just blast out when we used to do that back in the day.
It was called Blast Out?
Well, yeah.
That sounds violent.
No, not that kind. But you would call up on the radio and say, hey, I dedicate this next song to Julie.
Yeah, and it's like come back soon, Come
back soon. And then he disguises himself at the theater. They're all going into the movies. And he goes...
He's wearing 3D glasses. He's doing the tickets.
He tips him down to show Julie who he was.
Sure.
Dumbass boyfriend's behind her goes, oh, is this movie in 3D? And he goes, no, but your face is or whatever.
That might be one of my favorite lines. Well, the one after they're at the drive-in. Yeah.
Drive-in, yeah.
Randy is trying to disguise himself. Not very well, by the way. No. He's pretty clockable, but he's in all these places where Tommy and Julie are on dates and manages to like insert himself. And so when he's at the drive-in, he comes out, he has kind of a Southern accent, which I think is a very funny choice. Mm-hmm. And when Tommy complains about something, my favorite line is he's like, well, Peter picked a piper. I guess I did. And then he spits his gum on him. Yeah, it has a real like improv quality to it, which I love. It's just, it seems very spontaneous. So yes. I love it. So yeah, no, Julie can see that he's making an effort, even though she's still putting him off. And all of this culminates into like the big scene at the end. What's the final act of this movie?
Prom, baby.
Prom. What was weird is on the building it said junior prom.
Okay, why is that weird?
On the banner.
Right.
Which has a junior prom? Is this junior high school or is this juniors in high school?
Yeah.
I think it's juniors in high school. I think there are some schools that are big enough where the juniors have their own prom and the seniors have their own prom. Yeah, I think that's a great detail to pick up on.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they're doing driver's training. So like they would be what, like 16, 17?
16
here.
15.
But in California, I thought like they're driving. I thought it was 18 in California.
17.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Listeners who grew up in California in the 80s, can you, I don't know, do we have any California listeners?
We need more.
We need more. By the way, we see all of our fans in Vietnam.
Yeah, shout out to Hanoi.
What's up, Hanoi? We love you. I love your food. It's my favorite.
Yes. We'll come visit.
Absolutely. So yeah, at the prom, Fred convinces Randy. They get all dressed up. They're going to crash the prom. Fred says he has this great plan. There is no plan. So this is why I said like the plot of this is almost non-existent. This movie is mostly people just hanging out and talking. That's all it is. And they're like, okay, there's some great plan to like steal Julie back to prove Randy's love. But what does he end up doing at the end?
Well, beating up Tommy.
Yeah, there you go. His plan is to punch her current boyfriend in the face, and that's it.
Who we did not know until this moment is probably a brown belt in like some form of martial arts. Like
I don't know, but they hid behind in the stage because they're going to announce the king and queen.
Which oddly enough is Tommy and Julie. I would think it would be someone else, but I guess maybe that's what the girls were kind of concerned with at the sleepover, being like, oh, well, you can't be voted in if you're not in, class government or whatever.
Yeah, I think they could have maybe done a better job at sort of like, I mean, we see that these girls are all like pretty and popular, I guess, but like, I don't think we fully understand as viewers of the movie how popular Julie is. I think they could have done like a better job establishing that, because she just seems like a pretty cute girl, but she's not like she's the prom queen. She's class rep. So like if she's dating Randy, the stakes are so much higher. She's basically like throwing her life away.
Right.
That's what they said.
And I think if there were more scenes of her in the school by herself, or like maybe even like a moment where Randy puts his like pictures of himself in her book, which I found was really cute.
Yeah. It's so cute. Yeah.
Like if she was reading that book, maybe at a table with Tommy while they were like doing vote for prom king and queen or something, then I would be like, oh, that's how she got elected. Like, I don't know, like she was there and people voted for her. Like that at least would kind of tie those two moments together.
Yeah, I think it could have been better storyboarded. I do know that they shot this movie in 18 days, which is not a lot.
Wow, that's actually incredible.
Yeah, it has like a student film quality to it. And I mean, it was a major Hollywood picture. And I mean, it was so successful because the budget was so low. And this was one of those movies that people kept rewatching, like even in the movie theater, because this is what I found out doing research is that like you were talking about like the fashion styles and like how it really represented the day accurately or the era accurately.
Yeah.
And I think a really important thing about this movie is all of the music was a perfect representation of like K-Rock, like that, the LA rock station at that time. All the bands you're seeing, like the Plimsolls, and then later at the prom, Josie Cotton, those were like all real bands that were playing on they were all like local LA bands. So I think that's one of the coolest things about, you're kind of seeing a snapshot into like the punk and new wave era at the time. What were you going to say, Mel or Mom?
Like Mel was mentioning, wow, they got a punk band for their prom.
Oh my God, this punk band at the prom, but also playing Johnny, Are You Queer at the dance.
Which is the best. Again, could we make this movie now? Probably not.
Right.
But it's so, I don't know. I feel like if you understand the context of the time, it's a very innocent song. I also love, I want to say, like this throwback 1950s stuff that they were doing in the 1980s. I want to say like late 70s, early 80s. They were kind of like looking back at the 50s in some way. Through like certain music projects. I'm thinking of movies like Grease too. I know that's from the 70s, but it's how like it takes like 20 years for the generation after to be like, oh, remember this?
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, you do see a lot of bands in LA who are kind of like, okay, it's like a teeny bopper kind of 50s bubblegum pop kind of sound, which I love. I think that's really cute. So it's to the dulcet tunes of Johnny, Are You Queer? Where we see that Randy punches out Tommy.
Yes.
What other chaos ensues? You guys fill it in.
He's dragging him off.
Fred drags him off.
Yeah, Fred is there to help. Thank God. You know, so like they're both going at him.
Randy and Julie proceed down the stairs.
Yep, to leave. And they're like, oh, you're prom king and queen. They had announced it, but like the chaos was ensuing. So like when they walk down, it's Randy and Julie. Oh, here's your prom king and queen, kind of. They walk down and then out comes Tommy and they continue brawling. And then there's the food. So Julie throws like a gross green pie thing at him and it knocks him back.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was guacamole.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe it was pistachio fluff.
Yeah, we did have a lot of that in the 80s for sure. Yeah. they get in a classic 80s altercation, which is a food fight.
Yes, not enough food fights, but then again, we can't really afford that right now in these dire times. We must save all our food.
We're gonna run out of resources really quick here, guys. So you can't be wasting food. Back then, Reagan era, affluent capitalism, Reaganomics, baby.
Throw that food.
That's right. It's, if anything, this movie really cautions on the dangers of capitalism. I said I wasn't going to talk about class consciousness, but here we are. Anyway, so they steal the limo that Tommy had rented to take them to the Valley Sheraton. And the ending is the driver. He's like, Valley Sheraton. And Randy's just like, yeah,
we're going.
We're going. And
she takes off the bangle bracelet that Tommy gave her and threw it out the window.
It's over.
It's over.
I love it.
The end.
The end.
And honestly,
a part 2.
Yeah, I know. I wish there was a part 2. Solid ending, because it's like we almost don't need to know what happens after that. We can kind of let our imaginations take us in different places.
But it was nice that at the end, when you're saying Julie's best friend, Stacy, like was sitting at her table. I don't know where her date was. She was eating that food and thinking, I'm waiting to eat later at this fancy restaurant. And I'm a scarf and barf.
Or maybe she was just like,
I don't know if she had a date or not, but at the end, Fred comes up to wipe off the food she got thrown at her by accident. And she's like, oh, and she's found someone.
So do we ship Fred and Stacy? Like, do we hope they end up together too?
I think that's what it showed. Yeah.
I think that would be good because, she's got to let loose. Yeah. Okay. She also needs to learn the lesson of, the LA punk scene to just like let things go and be real. And don't worry about what class you're in, what your friends are telling you, what the magazines are telling you. You just do what feels right.
Yeah. And I like how I feel like in a lot of early 80s depictions of punks in cinema, it tends to be kind of negative. Right. And you don't get that. Like, I mean, there's altercations and there's some like tension, but like, I think that they show that like the punks were mostly just like more individuals and as opposed to like, people who just wanted to be the same. And I was thinking too, I was like going back to like the Valley Girls speak. I don't think people realize what an influence it is on influencer speak these days. Like the Valley Girls are the reason why we say like, which I do say a lot. And I've noticed more on this pod because I also have that inflection. I say when he was like, and she was like this, and it's just, that's the California affect. And I feel like I just said it again. I think that with like the rise of the Kardashians too, like that California lifestyle that made it like popular again.
Mm-hmm. All of the reality TV from like the early 2000s and up that kind of raised this generation that I belong in, Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of those things that you're mentioning, I've picked up on too, just naturally. And it's a part of youth culture, I think. But definitely that moment in the 80s is what shaped youth culture like forever,
Gag me with a spoon.
Gag me with a spoon.
Perpendicular. God, they would like put that draw at the end.
Yeah, the California long A.
Well, it's like vocal fry, and people criticize it a lot. It's like people have made fun of the way that women speak. Let's just say it plainly. People make fun of women and the way they express themselves all the time. And I remember like, being a young intellectual woman and being like, well, I don't speak like that. But now I'm like, no, we should have our own language. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think people I think of movies like Legally Blonde too. People will underestimate you because of like, if you like fashion or you speak a certain way, but you can still have a big brain and look like a bimbo.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, that's my goal.
To be like a really smart bimbo.
Yeah.
We always rate our movies at the end from like A to F. Mom, what do you give Valley Girl? What is your rating?
I give it an A.
Woo! Whoa, straight A?
Yeah, for awesome.
A for awesome.
Awesome.
Melanie, how about you?
I also give it an A. Totally.
Yeah, I guess, you know what? Not to succumb to peer pressure, but I will also give it an A because I was gonna like tack on an A minus.
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's fine.
Because of the skip subplot.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull it down a little bit because I think, and it has the possibility to be like a legendary movie, like in the same echelon as like Fast Times at Ridgemont High or any of these 80s movies that we think about. But again, it's just kind of like a sleeper because it just needed like it needed like 5 more days of shooting or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe like an extra $50K.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. But I think the things that have like kept it, I think the thing that's kept it in people's attention for so long and why people love and always go back to this movie is just like the general vibes, the fashion, the music,
the romance.
Yeah. The romance is very sincere in this. I have to say, you can't watch this movie and not believe in like, I was like, oh, right. Teen love. Remember what that feels like?
No.
Does anyone remember what teen love feels like?
Solid times.
Well, you know what? Go ahead.
I was going to say Mom's Teen Love led to one of our co-hosts being on the podcast. So there you go.
The soundtrack is definitely an A.
Oh, A+ for the soundtrack.
Loved that era of music because it jumped from, now you remember, I went from regular rock music into the new wave and then like this type of beach rock.
It's not like true surf rock,
it's like
but
rock,
it's like a little more, it's adjacent,
Yeah.
You would describe a lot of this music as surf rock?
With a kick to it.
Like a little dash.
Just a little dash.
I would call it like
new wave.
I think of all the bands that are on the soundtrack because like this was a lot of like first time listens to certain bands for me that I've grown to like love. So this is the first time I heard the band Sparks that I actually love. And they have a great great documentary on Sparks. Yeah, Psychedelic Furs, Men at Work. We have Josie Cotton, of course, Plimsolls. Who else here?
Modern English.
Yeah, and there's not just the one soundtrack, but there's also an additional soundtrack called Valley Girl More Music. And it was everything that they couldn't like fit in the movie. So that has songs like Mickey by Tony Basil.
Yes.
Thompson Twins, Culture Club, The Jam. I mean, this is like,
you know what? That could have fit in if you got rid of Skip.
Yeah. Let's skip more songs.
Skip.
How about skip?
This plot had nothing to do with what was going on.
Yeah, we're not Skip fans here on VHS Sisters. No. I also want to say real quick before we finish, they did do a remake of this in 2020 that got completely buried by the pandemic, which is a musical version. I watched 5 minutes and I had to turn it off immediately.
Ooh, boo.
So bad. I just want to say, this is my statement to Hollywood. Stop doing remakes. Stop it. We've had enough. Can somebody make an original idea again? Because I'm over it. We're good on Marvel movies too. Just want to say that. We don't need to do this anymore.
Comic book movies done.
That's it. Yes, we at VHS Sisters and my mother say no more superheroes. We're done.
Over it.
The time is over.
It's like totally over.
Yeah, so that has been our podcast. What a lovely time. Thank you so much to our mama.
Yes, Mom, and happy Mother's Day to you.
Yay. Yes, this is our Mother's Day special. I forgot to mention that, but any closing words for our fans?
What would you like to tell our fans?
We have so many of them.
Money. What would you like to tell our fans?
Say it to the camera directly to me, what you would like to say to the world.
Support your local
podcasters.
Women podcasters.
Support my daughters, is what she's saying.
My daughters.
How do you feel having such talented children? Does that make you feel
talented women in this generation? It sucks. Nobody supports enough.
I think we can say Mom is pro women podcasts and anti men podcasts.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Fucking ass.
Okay, everybody. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of VHS Sisters.
We hope you've had a fun and cozy time.
Please consider liking, leaving a review, and following us on your podcast platform of choice.
If you'd like to chat with us, please email us at VHSsisterspodcast@gmail.com.
Love you. Bye.